Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. We are going live to talk about the power of artificial intelligence. I am so happy.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. So my name is Alicia Holmes. I am a financial educator and coach, also known as the Wealth Whisperer. I always say that it is my North Star to see Black and Brown communities across the diaspora just thriving. But it's my personal mission and passion to see women, particularly women of color, being financially empowered. And I also believe that until women begin to understand and shape markets and economies, we won't see the changes that we'd like to see in the world. So I am so happy to be collaborating with Marcus Bellringer Bell to talk about this very important topic, which is artificial intelligence. We're in the beginning of the fifth industrial revolution. Those who invest, create, innovate in the beginning of an industrial revolution have unprecedented opportunities. I myself, for many years, have been an investor in emerging technologies. And the risk to reward, it takes very little to have life-changing rewards happen when you invest, when you create and innovate in the beginning. So again, I am happy to have Marcus Bellringer Bell here. I'm a bit of a newbie. I'm amazed at everything that I can do with artificial intelligence right now and how it's shaping everything that I'm doing. But I'm fortunate, but Marcus Bellringer Bell, who is a phenomenal musician, successful entrepreneur, huge in, I'm trying to think of what I can say and not say, but let's just say that one of the most powerfully wealthy and heart-centered African Americans of this lifetime. And also someone, like I was saying, is I'm a newbie in this space. And as he does with everything, Marcus has mastered so much of what you can do in this space, specifically with artificial intelligence. So Marcus, if you could take a moment to talk a little bit about yourself, what you do, and then we're going to jump right in and talk about artificial intelligence and why it's so important to focus there now.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for inviting me on this live with you. This is my first live on Instagram. And one of the things I want to point out is that, and I see a bunch of people joining us, that this space environment is an example of artificial intelligence, right, at work. So a lot of times people are interacting with artificial intelligence and don't even realize that it's actually AI that is creating the filters that are doing that. But I've been in the music industry basically my entire life, the entertainment industry. I started when I was 2 years old playing the piano. But I started my first business as an entrepreneur when I was 12 years old. And one of the things that I learned in my journey and working with celebrity artists all around the world and creating a lot of entrepreneurial endeavors was that it's always good to be in the future. So I did that in music. So back in the 90s, I had this idea of combining hip hop and country music. And this was before anyone had done it. And it was too early. But I realized later that I'm actually a futurist. And I'm one of the many futurists that back then I didn't know that I was a futurist. I didn't have that language. And so I've always been fascinated with what's next after the next.
Mm.
There's what's now, there's what's next, and then there's what's after the next. So about 10 years ago, I was at a conference where a lot of the innovators in the space of artificial intelligence and machine learning and robotics, it was this private conference, and I was sitting there as a participant in the conference, and they had the head of AI for Google and all these different companies come and present. And I was one of the only African American people in the room. And as I was sitting there, I said, oh my goodness, the future is now. And so 10 years later, here we have the beginning of what is not just a revolution coming into people's awareness, but an opportunity to be in the future now.
Mm.
And so I liken this, our conversations. We like to talk about new technologies and things to invest in, and you've done really well in being a futurist as well, and your investment activity corresponding with that futurism.
Yes.
And so I did that in the crypto space, as well, some years ago. And this is as big, if not bigger, than crypto. And the reason why I say that is because it's something that everyone can get. Everyone can get this filter. You just press a button and get the filter, right? So if you're not using a filter of AI on your life, you are missing a huge opportunity to be in the future now. And so as I've been exploring new technologies and what is happening in the marketplace in terms of AI, it is moving at such a rapid speed that if you don't open your eyes, you'll be in a different zone. You'll be in a different place. It's kind of like, I think I was sharing this with you before. There's a beach. Imagine yourself, you're on the beach and you're laying on the beach, and you're soaking in the sun, and you have your lemonade on the side, you're drinking your lemonade and so forth, and you're there with your friends, and you look up and you see this big wave starting to lift up, and you're a surfer. And so you're like, oh my goodness, there's a wave coming up, and I'm a surfer. And we go and we grab our surfboards and we run out into the ocean. And so we're right now in the ocean, basically balancing ourselves to be on the wave, as opposed to being on the beach to be hit by the waves. And so that's the opportunity that I see for people, to actually be on the wave and not on the beach.
I love that. Every time you give that analogy, you want to be on the wave with the momentum and moving forward instead of being consumed by it. And so, Marcus, I want to talk about, because we're talking about beyond the hype, like the real world applications of AI. So I can share, just a couple of days ago, someone I used to collaborate with and do presentations with contacted me, and they said to me, I've completely shifted gears, and what I'm doing now is I'm teaching the workforce, I'm training, I'm doing all of these things, and I'm doing it in spaces I didn't even know existed. Some, emerging markets and energy, all of these spaces. And I'm like, wow, how are you doing all of this? And very lucrative, doing it in the multiple seven figures. And I said, how are you doing this? And they like, with artificial intelligence. They said, I actually identified powerful areas that I would have never even known if I wasn't using. They were using a lot of ChatGPT. They said I actually was able to write a proposal around the area that I never would have wrote the proposal around and do it extremely well and present these proposals and get funding and do take my business, a business that I had just started and pivoted to a seven-figure level just by using artificial intelligence. And I don't know if he said he's going to try to get on the call too a little later. He's like, if people don't understand the power of using this in whatever we're doing right now, the information it provides, the tools it provides, it's an incredible opportunity. But on the other hand, not doing it, you can be so far left behind. There's a quote that said, business of the future, there will be those who are using AI and there will be those who don't exist. And that literally is where we're going. And not to talk about, the other thing to talk about is the incredible job opportunities. So Marcus, you can just hop in and talk about everything from business to job opportunities.
Yeah, well, we can be on the call for over 3 hours just talking about the opportunities, which is one of the reasons why we're doing a workshop actually. So those of you that can't stick around for this conversation, you can just click link in our bios and join the AI workshop, where we will really get into the weeds and have you create something with AI that you can actually monetize from that workshop. But in terms of the job opportunities, the side hustle opportunities, there are a few ways to look at it. So I'm in the music industry. That's one of my businesses, and then I have other businesses, and I'm an investor in companies as well. And so when my first entry point this year was when I was working on 100 songs, and I lost my voice in the midst of doing 100 songs in 100 days. And so I decided, you know what, I am not going to let this stop me. And I dug into what's happening in the music industry in regards to AI. And I trained an AI to be my voice and created some songs with my AI voice. Okay. So I was at a dinner with a friend of mine who's another successful entrepreneur. And he says to me, he's like, so Marcus, so how are you going to make money with that? Right. So I shared with him that, well, I can take the 100 songs and turn the 100 songs into thousands of songs by training the AI engine. And I can create a license that I give to people to be able to use those thousands of songs, not just the 100 songs, but use the thousands of songs for their musics, for their videos, for TV, film, and commercial. And so this is one of the opportunities in the music industry, right? If you're embracing the technology, is to take the work that you've done, those works that you've done, and actually monetize it through licensing. And so there's a disruption that's happening in the music industry right now where that's happening. So I said, okay, well, that's the music industry. What about other business industries, right? Because I have other businesses as well. So then when I look at like marketing, when I look at emails, when I look at being able to save time in creating content, when I look at the opportunity to use the tools in a strategic way to build businesses, I couldn't sleep. I said, oh my goodness. And I try and sleep, but I could not sleep with excitement of the opportunity for myself and others, because I support a lot of entrepreneurs and gaining clarity on what they're doing and building something that's useful for humanity. And part of that, creating something that's useful for humanity, is you must take into consideration the opportunity to monetize what it is that you're doing to create things that are sustainable, right? And so this is the opportunity in AI to create businesses, to create new businesses. And so just like your friend that's making millions of dollars by using AI to create contracts, government contracts, right? There are friends of mine that are using it for creating courses, right? For writing books, for generating cartoons and YouTube channels that is not their face, it's something that they created using AI that they can monetize. And so there are many different ways that you can create the side hustle, many different ways you can create something that will add to your net worth as you're creating an asset. Because every time you create something with AI, you are creating an asset. And so there's two ways of thinking about it. I'm creating an asset, and then there's the opportunity to monetize that asset. And a lot of times people start creating things without recognizing that what they're creating actually is an asset that can be monetized and has values. So everything from the prompts to the actual creation of whether it's a picture, whether it's a book, or where, like, all of those things can be monetized. And so we'll be talking a lot about that inside of our workshop.
Yes, we'll be talking about the how of how you do that. So the other thing I'd love for you to talk to is about the changing job market. So we know that there's a future of work, and in that future of work, there's some studies that are showing that 42%, well, one of them of African Americans, by 2030, their jobs will be completely and totally disrupted by technology, and we're not prepared. And there's a study that shows that African Americans and Latin Americans, that because of not having the skills right now and moving in that direction, that in one generation, our capacity to be in the job market can be completely and totally disrupted also. So while these predictions are happening, and the work that I do is to disrupt all of the negative predictions about what's going to happen for us in the future of money and the future work, we can disrupt that. And so I did a presentation to my Journey in Wealth community the other day, and there's a new jobs. 82% of the jobs they said that are going to be in the next 5 years don't even exist today. So there was a new job called a prompt engineer. And what that is someone who writes prompts for these AI engines, particularly ChatGPT. And so everyone was shocked because the starting salary was $230,000 and it went up to over $300,000. Mm-hmm. And in the job description, it says, we know that this is new. It's only been around for 2 years. Just show us what you got. Show us what you can do. And that description of a prompt engineer, there's many skills and tools there that I'm learning about doing it successfully and creating personas and all of those things. And so there's a world of many jobs in the future. This is just one that's emerging right now that we can all foresee that it's just going to be coming out of this industry. So if you could talk to
sure.
Yeah, and the job market.
Yeah, so I'm a prompt engineer. And I just discovered that when you have the ability to instruct and the ability to ask questions with specialized knowledge, it changes everything. It changes everything. So a lot of times, so ChatGPT is not the only, language model, right? There are a lot of different ones that right now it seems to be the most popular one, right? And so inside of when people play with ChatGPT, for example, a lot of times they get results that are like, I don't see what the big deal is about this. And that's because they may not have acquired the prompt engineering skills to be able to ask the right questions, create the right context for the responses that would blow your mind. And I see that we have some questions, happening in the chat, and we'll hold on tight. We'll get to your as well. But acquiring a skill as a prompt engineer that's invaluable. Okay, understanding what that is crucial. And so where I arrived at with it is, in whatever your job is, looking from the lens of how can I embrace AI technology inside of what I am doing now. Because if you look at, and it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, right? Even if you were driving a bus somewhere, right, you can say, all right, as a bus driver, how can I adapt AI, the lens, right, the glasses of AI, that I'm an AI technologist, how can this be effective in here? And you could actually create a job for yourself in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. See, because a lot of times these companies, they don't know what they don't know. And if you're an employee of a company and you're embracing AI technology and you're saying, hey, you know what? I am going to be on the leading edge of my industry. I'm going to be the leading edge of my job, my role. And so I'm going to learn how to prompt, mm-hmm. right? Which we'll be teaching in that workshop. I'm going to learn how to prompt so I can improve my chances of being able to be sustainable in my employment. Then you're thinking accurately. And so to think inaccurately would be to say, you know what, it doesn't affect me. Mm-hmm. That's going to happen a long time from now. Mm-hmm. And you'll be on the beach being hit by a wave. Or you can say, you know what, I'm going to go get my surfboard in my role, and I'm going to acquire some skills and be able to ride this wave and create a job for myself if there's not one that's about to open for you.
Absolutely. And again, the person I spoke to a few days ago, I had not thought of using artificial intelligence in that way to actually, like, what areas do they need most help in, let's say, workforce development, whatever you're doing, and mm-hmm. what are some of the current opportunities in that area, and with just asking all those questions, and then what kind of proposal would you write to do this? Let me put all my information in, and there's a world of putting your information in, given the right prompts, and having to spit out something that you would not even believe, and do it so quickly. And that's the other thing that I want to talk, that I'd love for you to talk about, Marcus, is things that used to take quite a bit of time for you to pull it together and have access to everything you need to pull it together. Now, within this space, you can do it very quickly. And and have access to things that you didn't even imagine you would have access to from asking the right questions. And if you could speak to that also.
Yeah, so the amount of reduction in time, I have a friend of mine, he was working on a marketing proposal and was spending days, I mean days, maybe weeks actually, to be accurate, working on it, thinking through and so forth. And I saw him working, I walked past, I said, hey, you could use ChatGPT for that. And he says, oh, well, what do you mean? How can I use it? So I went over and we opened it up and I did some prompting, and it came up with everything that he had been working on for weeks in a matter of minutes. Now, because he had specialized knowledge, he saw what was missing and said, okay, well, let's add this in and so forth. And so we started shaping and massaging it. Mm-hmm. But that is the opportunity in terms of time reduction. Mm-hmm. So something that would take months now take weeks. And I'll give you another example. I plan my life in 50-year increments, right? And so, and a lot of people that I train, that's kind of part of the work. Like you look from a 50-year lens, of your activity and what you're doing in business. So some of the things that you're doing right now, you may need to put into the future. So I had put into the future some things like, creating some cartoons and doing some television, things as a television, writer, etc. And so I'm looking at what was happening in the AI world with ChatGPT and other engines, Jasper, and there are so many. There's so many tools that are happening every single day. I mean, to say that you have expertise in something, right? The minute you say you have expertise in something is the minute that you're no longer expert, right? Because it's moving at such a rapid pace.
Right.
But those things that I had planned for 10 years out,
Mm-hmm.
I woke up one morning and I said, wait a minute, if I put this together with this and that together with that, I could do it right now. It doesn't take 5 years to do an animation movie. I could get it done in months instead of 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did an AI music video, for example, and that music video would have cost over $1 million to do, and over a year for it to be produced. Talk about time reduction. Okay. With the prompt engineering, with my specialized knowledge and so forth, it was done in such a short period of time. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not even going to tell you because we just started a AI music video business because of that, right? To reduce the time to even do so, just like that. And that just came from playing. And all of a sudden, someone saw what was being played with and said, hey, can I hire your company to do that? And so what you'll find is as you are interacting with AI and you're interacting with tools and so forth, I would recommend that everyone just dedicate a little bit of time, like a half hour, just to explore. Because what will happen is you'll start to see opportunities emerge out of your play. And this is how the brain works, right? From a neuroscience standpoint, when you're in a state of play, then new ideas, creativity, you'll see things that you didn't see before from that state. And you'll see opportunities to build your wealth in that state, in the state of play. So I really believe that, as we embrace, okay, not from the standpoint of, that there's a threat here, but there's an opportunity here. And so going from threat to opportunity, from work to play.
I love it. So Marcus, I talked to Marcus. Marcus in the world, I don't know if I could say what people, Marcus, you have your own membership and what people actually would pay to be a part of Marcus's membership. And so I came to Marcus, and I'm always about doing things in our community, particularly for women. And I know that there's a social context that has us sometimes count ourselves out. And I'm talking to Marcus, and I'm like, let's collaborate on something that we can deliver and offer to the community of Black and brown women and women of color, so that we can benefit from and look at the opportunities in this space from a master, because you are masterful. Who you are in the world, what you've accomplished and what you do, it is masterful. And so Marcus and I are collaborating, and Marcus is bringing to you the information that we're talking about here, a great foundation in artificial intelligence, to understand it, to look at the possibilities from everything we talked about here, what we didn't talk about even from investing in the space. And so this is a 3-hour workshop. And the last hour of the workshop is truly a working session where we will go through the process of using AI. You have an idea, to actually use AI to create the course, use AI to create the images for the course, use AI to create the social media marketing, use AI to create the email, and at the end, in that last part of the session, to actually have to show you how you can monetize something, very quickly. And so this is an extraordinary opportunity. Um, uh, you can click the link in my bio for Journey to Wealth, Women in Action. You can click the link in Marcus. You can talk, say what your
Yeah, yeah. If you click the link in my bio as well, you'll be able to. It's the first thing there for you to be able to enroll in that workshop. And I don't want to forget the people that had questions in the comments too. So I see someone asked, how should musicians and creatives embrace AI? So I would say that the music industry is disrupted, not being disrupted, but is disrupted. So the ability to use AI to generate music right now with vocals and songs fully done exists now, from the work that Google has been doing as well as others now. And so what that means, the fact that you can program and have Kanye sing a Justin Bieber song, or anybody can go and put Drake on their song, creates a disruption in the music industry that has been unparalleled. And so me being on the wave, I've been playing around with that. And so the way I've embraced it is I've started creating my voice as an AI. And actually there's a project that's going to be coming out soon. I'll just share it because it's my first time talking about it. There's a project that I'm a guest on, but I'm a guest on it with my voice. Mm-hmm. So they're using my AI voice in this project, and that's going to be released, I think, maybe in a month or so. And so as a singer, as a speaker, there's the opportunity that I've embraced to license out my voice, right? And have that be a part, and so that people can play with it. Another way, as a musician, so it's a helpful tool for songwriting. So when I was doing 100 songs, I looked at, okay, well, how can I use AI to be like a songwriting assistant? And a lot of, I ended up oftentimes writing the song myself, but maybe one word would spark an idea used in that way, like that. And so that's how I would recommend musicians and creatives embrace it fully. The AI music video that I just posted on Facebook and LinkedIn, that's me embracing it, right? Like that. Yes, be the future, as Elizabeth mentions. Be in the future now. Very important. Okay. Let's see. Another question. I'm scrolling down. Will this be recorded? This is going to be a recording. Yes. Okay, great. Got that. Okay, can you share your definition of AI and how AI is differentiated from existing applications that currently perform complex tasks that don't require human input? That's a good question. And those things that are performing tasks that don't require human input, often that is AI. So one of the things that we break down in the workshop that we're doing, link in the bio, hint, hint, is I go through and explain the different kinds of AI, things that fit under AI. It's kind of like in crypto, in the world of crypto, there's blockchain, and then there are the applications of blockchain, the utility, right? So you have the coins, but you also have, you can vote, you can do DAOs, you can do DeFi. There are all these different things, and AI is like that. So AI is kind of like an overarching term that speaks to robotics and machine learning and things like that, and automations, chatbots, etc. Filters, like the one I'm using here in this one. How about dance and AI? Oh my goodness. Yes. Dance and AI. So Google just created um, just released something. You can take a drawing, like a kid drawing, and animate it for it to dance. Okay. You can take some movement, and there are AI engines that you can use, and some programs that you can use that you can have your AI dance as a robot, right? There's some video engines that you can dance as a cartoon, right? And we're capturing your video, and you're able to, so yes, that is possible right now. Let's see, well, I'll just shift it, my recurrent, yes, shift your focus. I mean, if you are looking at being ahead, if you are considering embracing AI and future technology, not just from investing, but as a participant. So there are, they have that model. You have like the early adapters and then all of that. Well, before early adapters, there are beta testers. And before beta testers, there are the creators of it. So you want to be a creator. And then you also want to be a beta tester for things, so that you are not just ahead, like you are creating. So can you create? And that's the opportunity that you have right now, because people are just getting exposed to the opportunities. So what you focus on grows. So if you focus on something positive, then that's going to grow. If you focus on how I can make money using AI, then you'll be able to make money with that. If you focus on how can I build an audience, how can I create assets with AI, then that is what's going to happen. Anything you want to add to what I'm saying, Alicia?
No, I just, I get to talk with you all the time. Marcus is not only, I hear in your conversation the mindset stuff too. The pieces, whatever you focus on will show up in your life. And I was going to ask you, as we wrap this up, to talk a little bit about that, because in this industrial revolution, we get to play full out. We get to win, win, win. In most industrial revolutions, we really will shut out the door. So the only thing stopping us, we can play with AI, we can play with technology, we can create in the crypto space, we can create organizations, ecosystems that we can all flourish economically. We can change the game. So that's the opportunity that I'm looking at for any disenfranchised people. Like, this playing field is wide open. And the only thing that's stopping us now is anything that we have going on in here, or any limiting beliefs that we have around this. And so I was going to ask you to talk to that, because I hear it in the conversation already. So this is, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of trauma in our culture. There is a lot of narratives that don't serve us as African Americans. And so one of the things that I care deeply about, I care deeply about empathy and compassion. I care deeply about opportunity for those that don't have opportunity. This is one of the reasons why we're doing the workshop, is to create an opportunity, a doorway, a pathway that most people don't have access to. I've been in rooms, I've been with people, multi-billionaires, people that are on the cutting edge of technologies, and have been, the only African American there. And I realized a long time ago, many years ago, that that I'm there for a purpose, and one of those purposes is to be able to see what others aren't able to see, to be able to hear what others don't hear, and then be able to share and lift those that want to be lifted. And if you, inside of your consciousness, have created a limitation on what's possible for yourself, I challenge you to to maybe put on a different pair of glasses. That inside of the possibilities for your life, there's not just these future technology possibilities, but there's the possibility for you to do something bigger than just for self, do something bigger than just for your family, but do something that actually uplifts not just your community, but can ripple out and uplift humanity. So when I look at what you're doing, Alicia, and the women that you are supporting, you know, I remember when we met, you know, many years ago, we were in Cancun, and you were sharing with me about some statistics around African American women, and it upset me so much. I said, well, oh my gosh, how can I support, you know, like that? Because, you know, I myself, I had to unlearn some things that I was taught that didn't serve me in building wealth. And so when you're able to break through the narratives that keep you from building wealth, then all of a sudden a whole other world of possibility opens up. And so what I would recommend to anyone listening is to question your beliefs, question your narratives, question those things that you've been carrying around with you, those stories that have been told to you that you've not challenged, that you've just accepted. Oh, nothing's gonna happen for me. Oh, I don't have the money. Like, that's one of those stories that you have to have money to make money. That's a false narrative. You have to work hard in order to make money is a false narrative. You know, what I learned was you don't have to work hard in order to change your economic situation. You have to work on your value. What is the value that you are? And that's an everyday thing. How can you work on creating value that you can express in the marketplace, that you can exchange money for? And so it's changing some of those narratives that have been passed down that haven't served the elevation of our communities. And so I you know, I can speak for hours on on that, because I have a lot to say about that, because I had to learn and unlearn. I had to unlearn, and I had to seek mentorship, and I feel very fortunate that I have, and now I share that with others. I help support others, you know, create financial independence, just as you're doing with the community of women.
Yes. So thank you, Marcus. We are actually, I don't know if we're really over time. I was saying it was going to be a half an hour, but when you are expressing information that this is life-changing, this is how your life changes, and talking about getting specialized knowledge and hearing from people who are living the life of making their life is their dream life. The things that they want to manifest and have happen, and you know, people throw out manifest, the things that you want to have happen, doing the work, all of it, the emotional, the mental, the time, what you do to make the things happen in your life that you want to have happen, and living that and living it fully, and then caring about humanity and doing the work to give back, and always be about the world, humanity. Yes, my North Star is seeing Black and brown people thrive across the diaspora because of our history and everything happening for us. My personal mission and passion is women and women of color. But this is really all about uplifting the entire humanity, the work that we're doing here.
Absolutely.
So Marcus, you can absolutely, if you could take us out, just talking a little bit more about the workshop, and, you know, and we talk about value.
Okay, yeah. So I have a habit of over delivering value, which is beneficial for people that enroll in programs or in anything, you know, that I get involved in. And so inside of what we're creating with this workshop, and as we've been prepping for it, Oh my gosh. One, I love sharing, if you can't tell. Two, I love people, and I love helping people have uh, an unfair advantage. We're like, oh, come on, really? And so this workshop is going to give you an unfair advantage. If you just click the link in the description, it's not, it's not going to be over your head, too advanced. I'll be touching on things. Chat GPT helped me break things down so that my 8-year-old daughter would get it. So it'll be digestible. It'll be a workshop that you can actually implement in your life, and not just in terms of making money, but in terms of optimizing. And then, because we're only going to be using 3 hours there in the workshop, I've created a resource bank that in itself, oh my gosh, I was talking with someone about that resource bank, and they were saying, like someone will pay like $10,000 for what you just put in a resource bank, right? Because what I've done is I've curated the things that I've discovered over the past, 6 months of really digging deep into it, and extracted what are the most valuable resources for anyone that wants to be a creator, that anyone that wants to invest, that anyone that wants to be a participator, and even anyone that wants to be a sideliner but know something a little special. Wherever you are on the spectrum, from innovator to observer, there's something for you inside of the workshop, and we're just gonna have some fun too. Okay, like that. So you just click the link in either Alicia's bio or my bio, and just go ahead and sign up for it'll be the best investment that you've done in a long time.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Marcus. We're going to wrap it up here. Please, this Instagram Live, the video is going to be up on my site and Marcus' site. Please share this. For Marcus and I both, this is a movement. This is a movement that we are creating to change the world. So please share, like, comment on what was shared today. And I just want to thank everyone for taking the time out on your Friday afternoon, East Coast and West Coast.
Yeah, yes. So the workshop is on Saturday, the 20th, and so you have time to get your ducats together. But bring yourself and bring a friend with you. Bring someone with you to the workshop that you think can get value from it. That you could actually leave the workshop and like collaborate with family members. You want to have the tools in the workshop. You want to bring your community in it. I would highly recommend that, so that you're not just doing it alone, that you're not seeing things alone. One of the things that I've discovered is the more you are in group, that you're moving towards something, the more accelerated it is. Yeah, like that. Absolutely. Yeah, the 20th of May.
Absolutely. It's all about community. It's just, why the Journey to Wealth community of women, we are moving, growing, and investing together and learning together. And I am so happy to be able to bring Marcus, you, and so many people who have been contributing to the Journey to Wealth community. But this is, so special. Marcus and I met years ago, and I was talking about the statistics, and he was so upset. We got to do something about it. And I think we've been meeting about for the last, I don't know how many years, almost every week. And really, the commitment that we both have to uplift and humanity.
Yeah.
So please take the time, sign up, share this video, like and comment, and we look forward to seeing you on at the workshop. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for allowing me to contribute to the Journey to Wealth community. It's really meaningful to me. I I know Mother's Day is coming up, and my mom passed back in 2018.
Mhm.
And so when I think about African American women, you know, I think about her and the contribution that she made to my life. And and if I can give some mothers with some specialized knowledge
Mhm.
that they can pass on in their families, you know, there's nothing,
Mhm.
you know, greater in honoring my mom than being able to do that.
Thank you, Marcus. Marcus was a yes. There was not even a hesitation. I said, Marcus, let's do something for women, particularly women. He's like, yes. It was like an immediate yes, and thank you for that. And happy Mother's Day, ladies. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Marcus, you are a gem in every single way, and thank you for this. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the workshop. Bye.
Bye.